What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 3 of the Portland Monthly Premodern Paper Magic Afternoon September 2025 tournament. We got 2 awesome decks to show you, so let's check out those deck lists. First up, we have Matt K with Mono Blue Stiflenought, and at first glance, it does look pretty stock until you notice the 3 of Peak, the 1 of Powder Keg, and 2 polluted deltas in the main. And no, he's not splashing for black. I did say mono blue. I'm sure there's some good thinking behind all of these includes. Powder Keg does make a lot of sense for taking care of more aggressive creature decks, which you do tend to have a decent amount of here in Portland. Peak, of course, being able to know exactly what to counter is always very handy, especially if your opponent has a more control deck. Being able to see what they're working with lets you know exactly when you want to try and slam that 12-12. And the polluted deltas are maybe the most puzzling out of them all. The deck is pretty stingy with its life, but having those 2 pieces to shuffle an Impulse or a Portent you're not particularly fond of could potentially be relevant. Either way, a very interesting choice. I am curious to see if it plays out in our matches. And then going to the sideboard, some more spice with a 1 of Cursed Totem. The 2 Parallax Tides and Brain Freeze are both pretty standard, as well as a Chain of Vapor. 2 Essence Flux, good against Enchantress, makes sense. 1 Misdirection, which does see play in a lot of Phyrexian Dreadnought lists, although maybe lately hasn't been seeing as much. Still a very good card. 4 Nulls, again, Enchantress. Gotta get rid of Enchantress. 2 Hydroblasts, and 1 Blue Elemental Blast. So not quite the stock Dreadnought list, but still very powerful, still very deadly, and still should be a problem for whoever he's playing against. But exactly who is that? Well, that person is Alec with White Green Terrageddon. Now, this is a list he's been running for a little while now, I believe. I actually don't even think I had to ask him for this deck photo for this monthly, because he's run it before. But if you're not familiar, it is not an Oath Terravore list. It is running other creatures like Nibble Mongoose and Weathered Wayfarer, both of which are excellent when you are putting so many cards in your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard, especially considering the 3 of Armageddons and the 1 Cataclysm to add that Geddon part of the name. Because the deck is in white, you're also running 4 Swords of Plowshares, and being in green, of course, you have your Sylvan Libraries and Call the Herds, the main. Sideboard, it is transformative into an Oath plan with 3 Oath of Druids, 2 Enlightened Tutors, 2 Cursed Totems, 1 Wrath of God, 1 Call the Herd, 1 Ray Revelation, the 2nd Cataclysm, 1 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Seal of Cleansing, and 2 Sphere of Resistance. Because this deck is not running a lot of land destruction main, it doesn't make a lot of sense to run the Spheres main. Totally get that. Also, I guess in the main deck, I want to call out the 1 of Core Haven, which does prevent all combat damage and is probably very good in the Terravore Mirror. All in all, a nasty list, but he is going up against another top tier list, so let's just get into those games. And away we go. Matt is on the left, Alec is on the right. Both players playing with top tier decks in this match. Both players having the opportunity to shut things out for their opponent fairly quickly. And I have to think both players not knowing what the other is on. Alright, so Alec keeping a hand with 2 Terravores and it looks like a Cataclysm and Armageddon. Matt gonna ship it back as, well, Dreadnought tends to do. And we're gonna cut to when he has a Keepable hand. Okay, Matt looking for 6 here. The Dreadnought list does move very well, and really is just looking to see one of those shrimps in hand, which he does have, and it has a Vision Charm at least. Maybe 2 Vision Charms. Ooh boy, that is nasty. Does he have the lands? Okay, he has at least 1 land. We need a second one. Alec just gonna go land go. Okay, as the second one. Alec does not have a swords in hand, so this Dreadnought is going to resolve. And there's a Vision Charm. And that shrimp is phasing out. See if... Oh, there's a Disenchant. I mean, that is relevant. Now, Matt could have Counterspell backup. Alright, pass to you. Try Disenchant before you draw something. Taking a point to do so. Now... Okay, just gonna Vision Charm here. Draw for turn. There's a daze. That would have been very bad for Alec. He had waited till the draw step. Okay, we are going to Portent. Take a look at some cards. Decide if you like the order of them. This is one of the instances where that fetch land in the main is interesting. Portent is a very good card. But being able to shuffle your deck if you don't particularly like it. I mean, you can do that with Portent anyways, but say you want just one of those cards, you can then time the shuffle after. Okay, there's a Heath for Alec. I think that was his draw, so I don't... Might have... Okay, he has an Enlightened Tutor in hand, I think I saw. Okay, going to Library here. So, not running Seal Cleansings in the main. Or anything like that. Anything relevant for Tutor to get. Okay, swing for 12. Alec is functionally dead. Next turn, unless he can find a Swords off the top of his library. And he's going to grab a Plains to help make sure that happens and takes a little less damage. Okay, there's an Enlightened Tutor. Enlightened Tutor will resolve. Does he actually have a Seal of Cleansing in the main? Now Matt does have this Daze, which he could have hard cast, but is opting not to. Instead leaving a blue open. Alright, so we'll never know if Alec has a Seal of Cleansing. We could look at the deck list, I guess, but I don't know if it'll matter. None of those are swords, and we're going to game number 2. Alright, here we are in game number 2. I did actually check Alex's deck list, and I don't think he sent me the right one. Enlightened Tutor is not in the main. Unfortunately, this video does need to go out shortly after it's being recorded, so I don't have time to track down a new photo for him. So we're going to assume Enlightened Tutors are in the main, as well as some tutor targets for them. Obviously, you can go get Sylvan Library is very good. I imagine he probably has like at least a one of Seal of Cleansing main if he's running E-Tutor in the main. But yeah, so I apologize for not catching that his list was not the most up-to-date, but he is playing green-white Terravor with Armageddons and Cataclysms. So anyways, both players having keepable 7s here. And Alec just starting off with a Plains Go. Matt with the Island. Alec in a Plains Cycle here at end step. Ooh, does have Spheres too. Again, no idea if these are side or main. Has a Mox Diamond. Did not drop it turn 1. There's a Forest. Mox Diamond. Does it resolve? This is important. You do get to know if it resolves before you pitch a land. Gonna pitch a Wasteland here, which is a good call. The only targets are 2 Mischief Factories in the standard Dreadnought list. And as far as Alec knows, he is playing against the standard Dreadnought list, has not seen any Spice. Second island here from Matt. That Sphere is going to cause some problems. Okay, there's a peak. There's your first indicator that this is not totally standard, but you see a Brushland, a Treetop Village, they call the herd. Gonna play out the Brushland. Pay 4 for an elephant. And this could be problematic for Matt, now needing 4 mana for his combo to work. He's gonna Portent. Really needing to hit his land drops. Does find a land. He does have 1 Chain of Vapor in the main. I don't know if he brought in his second from the side. That is the only way he really has to deal with a resolved sphere. And just gonna pass it back. Again for 3 with the elephant. Make another elephant. And yeah, this is looking pretty bad here for Matt. Might be seeing a scoop relatively soon. Okay, there's 3. Oh, no, that is actually very good. Okay, powder keg. That does make things a lot tougher for Alec. Gonna try and swing in. Will get cracked. Does lose the Mox as well. But still has a treetop village, so still has a clock. Matt is 1 away still from the combo. Does have a Dreadnought in hand. Okay, there's another peak. Piece of swords and another Mox Diamond. Swords is very scary. Sphere, of course, also turning off any sort of free magic. And Matt just discarding the hand size here, not finding his 4th land drop. Alec gonna get in for 3. Say go. Very inconspicuously leaving up Swords mana. And yeah, if Matt cannot hit his land drop soon, he is going to be out of this game, and we are going to see a game number 3. Alright, discarding a hand size still. Alec getting in for 3. Contemplating out another land. Deciding if it's worth it, probably. I don't know if it is. Well, play out the Mox is not worth it, I feel like. Yeah. Alright, there is the 4th island for Matt. However, he knows about the swords, so he needs at least 1 other mana before he feels comfortable going for the Dreadnought plan, because he would need a land in hand and a foil. Unless he's just trying to get rid of the swords here. Alright, looks like he's going to try and bait it out. Alex saying, yeah, you got to show me. Alright, there's a Vision Charm. In response to the Vision Charm. Yeah, Matt is all tapped out. Alex just making sure. Oh, actually has a Disenchant. Nasty, so still holding up the swords. Yeah, did have the 3 mana to pay for it too, so opting for the most mana efficient play, which makes sense. Definitely not wanting to give your opponent 12 life when you're so close to killing them. Okay, there's another elephant. Are we getting in with anything else? Looks like no. Oh yeah, just 1 mana off. I keep thinking the sphere is a Mox, but the Mox got destroyed. And the sphere is what's slowing things down. Alright, speaking of, 2 mana Portent, not nearly as good. And Matt just looking for something. I think another land at least. Again, you want to have foil backup ideally. But running out of time. Draw a foil. Alright, getting in for 3. And are we hard casting another, or flashing back a Call Herd? Yeah, 5 total. For 3/3. It's not quite lethal on the board. Does leave a mana up for days. Matt does have counter spell, but does not have the extra land to play it, and really this is just coming down to that sphere shutting off everything Matt wants to do. And we are scooping it up and going to game number 3. And here we are in game number 3. I do have to wonder if maybe the version of the deck Alex playing today had the spheres in the main. They are just very good, especially in a Mox Diamond deck. Especially when you're running Armageddon. See if both players are keeping. Oh, there's a Terravor in hand for Alec. That's pretty good. I don't know if I saw his swords. Looks like Matt, though, is going to mulligan. So we'll cut to when he has a keepable hand. Okay. Matt looking for 6 here. Has had pretty good luck with mulligans finding shrimp. It looks like he has it again. Does he have any lands, though? I tell. Apparently so, if he's keeping. Is on the play here, which is where the Dreadnought deck wants to be. Does have a turn 1 daze as well. There's a peak. Okay, so we have a disenchant in hand here for Alec. A lot of lands. Terravor and Armageddon. Just gonna play out the Treetop Village and pass. Not even gonna bluff the disenchant, or the swords, sorry. Alright, there's a Dreadnought with a Stifle. Say go. Saying, use that disenchant. Check me. Now, if Alec drew a swords here, that daze that Matt has in hand, not going to be as good. But he may have... Look, he does have a foil backup as well. So double counterspell backup. Only has 3 cards in hand though, so can... Daze here first, yeah. Alright, well, now Alec needs 2 more pieces of interaction here to survive. And this is why this Dreadnought list is just so brutal. Drops down to 7. Does Alec have it? There's a core Spirit Haven. Alright, well, you know what stops a Dreadnought? How about a land? I mentioned this in the deck type being very good in the Terravor matchup, the mirror match. But how about the Dreadnought matchup? Now, Matt can stifle this if he happens to have a stifle. We saw he used one already, so there are not as many left in the deck, obviously, but still can find it here. But Alec is paying 3 mana every turn to not die, but with the amount of lands he has in hand, we'll potentially do that soon. Is okay, gonna cycle the Secluded Step there, draw another card. Really just trying to find any other piece of interaction. There's a Rashad import. Tap 2 for Sylvan Library. Trying to find more interaction here. I wonder if this is worth counterspelling from Matt. He is gonna foil it, okay. There's a lot of resources down to take care of a library. You have no clear out. Granted, it does make it harder for Alec to find something, but alright, there's a Terravor. That Terravor is a 3/3 currently. Not doing much. Alright, there's a Portent. Ooh, there's a Stifle. That is problematic. So now Alec has 1 turn, this next turn, to find an answer for the Dreadnought, or he's dead. I'm not even sure if there's a counterspell either in there. For Matt, for backup. Alec does not... Oh, drawing off the Portent, yes. Okay. What is it out here? He needs a disenchant or a swords, and just Matt can't have counterspell or a foil. That's basically where we're at. If he leaves his treetop untap, no, even that doesn't do it. Okay, he's gonna fetch here, go to 5. Terravor is now 4/4. Okay, so there is actually a instance here where if Alec cracks his Armageddon, which seems super counterintuitive because he has, you know, the Dreadnought kind of unlock here. The Dreadnought cannot attack in. The Terravor will be a 13-13. Okay, swinging with the Dreadnought here. Now we know, of course, that Matt has drawn the Stifle and is probably winning next turn. Okay, there's a call of the herd. Your go. Alec, I think, wanting a little more value before committing to that Armageddon plan, but unfortunately, this is going to get stifled, and that is going to be game number 3. Matt takes it down. Wow. Those were some blisteringly fast games by people who know what they're doing with their decks. That was some great Magic. Thanks to all you guys who made it this far. Hopefully you did, because like I said, it was a pretty quick one. Some great Magic overall though. If you want to like the video or subscribe to the channel, those are the 2 best ways to help support what I'm doing. If you've been subscribed for a while, consider joining that Patreon. You can join the names of all these wonderful people displayed on screen right now. These are all my current patrons. For as little as $1 a month, you get your name up here, and you really do help the channel out. All the money from the Patreon goes towards travel expenses to go to as many pre-modern and old school tournaments as I can, gear upgrades to make better and better quality videos, and just helping me make more videos in general. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next time.